We finally sailed on NCL and booked the Norwegian Joy, but we really wish we knew these things first. We booked the Norwegian Joy because it offered the perfect opportunity for us to get from one booked cruise ship to another. Up until this experience, we had never been on Norwegian Cruise Line before, so our experience on the Joy taught us a lot. So, starting from the beginning, we had found out that Norwegian actually honors their own price match. We originally booked a balcony cabin and had noted that the price went down well before we set sail. So we were offered compensation for the difference that we could either take as a credit for a future cruise, or we could upgrade the balcony cabin that we had already booked. On the Norwegian Joy, we had opted to take their upgrade option to get a club balcony suite. It sounded big and fancy, and because of the significant amount of money in the price difference, we were sure that we had made the right decision. Which brings me to the very first thing that you should know before booking your cruise on the Norwegian Joy. Number 1, the Norwegian Joy is in a breakaway plus class of ship. So the term Club Balcony Suite actually doesn't really mean much on this ship, unfortunately. Had we been on a Prima class ship, we would have received a lot more benefits, more space, more luxury, but we didn't know. The only real benefit of this upgrade is that our cabin was in a more central location, and we got a free bag of laundry valued at $34 during our 17-day trip. Oh, and we got a free mini bottle of champagne. In hindsight, I think it would have been better had we taken the credit, as there wasn't much value with the amount of money that we should have saved. So hopefully this tip saves somebody else from making the wrong decision that we made. Let me show you our club balcony suite so you can see for yourself. This stateroom is literally the same as a balcony cabin in terms of size and what it offers. It has a super small TV. There are no upgraded features like lotion or better quality soaps. There's a lack of drawer space and very little practical hanging space. If you wanted to watch a movie, there was an extra charge. And quite honestly, this so-called suite was disappointing and had an awkward layout. I even managed to sprain my toe in this cabin because I walked directly into the sofa's wooden skirt. Very painful, I know. Now, when you fill out all of that pre-boarding information on the app, you will get to choose your own boarding time. Well, let me just say that you may find that all 3,900 passengers on the ship will all pretty much show up at the same time as you, and therefore your boarding time becomes pretty much irrelevant. I wish I knew this in advance because I could have taken advantage of my extended checkout time from the hotel we were in and taken our time to arrive to the cruise port later and avoid the nearly 2.5-hour line in the rain. We're just in line here at the Norwegian Joy and it's starting to rain. And I don't even know why Norwegian requires you to have a sign-up time. We've been here since our sign-up time and there's probably 2,000 or 3,000 people ahead of us. It was pretty chaotic, and I think that it could have just been avoided by taking some time for yourself and arriving after the rush. And there's just no indication of what to do or where to go. So I would suggest maybe 2 o'clock. Number 3. The first thing that we like to do when we get onto a ship is to drop off our backpacks in our staterooms. Now, I've already given you a glimpse of our balcony club suite, and you can find the entire video by following the link here, which I'll also put in the description. One thing that I feel the need to mention is that in a balcony, you'll be paying an additional $20 per person per day at the time of this recording. but you will only be receiving one service per day. This is a huge difference between most other cruise lines, which did surprise us. Now, obviously, if you're in the Haven Suites, you'll get as many services as you want. So right from the very beginning of our cruise, you could see with the amount of passengers and the lack of organization that the crew did seem overworked and even unhappy in some cases. It wasn't everybody though. Some staff were really exceptional. On pretty much every ship that we go on, Kirk and I try to make a point of saying hi to as many crew as we can and interact with them, even in passing on a daily basis. So, one thing that I found really nice on the ship is that they have a nice internal program where if you as a passenger write something nice about one of the staff, that not only will that staff member be recognized internally, but you will also get thanked for pointing out that staff member as well. I feel like when you are active and participating on this ship, that the staff can be really receptive. Not only that, but if you do things that take time, such as trivia or participate in the games, their prizes are fun and they're generous. I must mention that I am sure that this is not typical, but on the cruise that we were on in the Panama in February for 17 days, there were only a handful of kids, and even still, the rules could not be bent. Everything is pretty much black and white with their rules and timings, and therefore, as middle-aged adults, we started to feel like children being scolded or that we weren't allowed to do something. For them to completely stop me in the middle of a ping pong game because it was 10 o'clock made me feel like I was an 8-year-old out past my bedtime and that I was in trouble. But if you're in the middle of doing something like hitting the ping pong ball or scooping that last morsel of food onto your plate, can't you just please let somebody finish the action? Also, along this line of feeling like a child is that in the water slide, you're not allowed to wear a hat, but they don't tell you that, and there's no signage of that until you've already climbed all the way up. Just those little things as an adult is pretty juvenile. This also includes where we would sit out for drinks on the promenade deck, and at 10:30, everything around you was packed up, and in fact, they would ask you to leave for safety reasons, and there wasn't even a drop of wind or anything. Another place with awkward rules was the American Diner. A few of the days we had sat in the cars working on our videos and simply wanted to eat a plate of fries while working. But we were not allowed to bring the French fries past the line, no drinks, and no food. Yet people can walk from anywhere else on the ship and eat their ice cream cones in the elevators and eat food and take drinks anywhere and everywhere on the ship. So, speaking of food, I was also surprised at how many people leave their trays of food outside in the stateroom hallways. The amount of people in scooters, walkers, or even just walking with canes, there are quite a lot. So, I don't know how anybody could get past all of the dirty plates in the hallway. One of our very favorite spots on the entire ship was the promenade. This is one place that I have to commend. It was pretty much where we spent the majority of our time. We were really pleasantly surprised with the promenade waterfront deck. It is a very spacious and welcoming and comfortable place to walk around. You can walk around the entirety of the ship, getting views from every angle, and you can sit out at the open bars and even have dinner outside. It is quite unlike any of the other cruise lines that we've been on, and therefore it was our go-to place to sit out after dinner or after a show and just have a nice relaxing conversation over drinks. I discovered my new favorite drink on the ship, and I met a favorite YouTuber that we love and still keep in touch with on a regular basis. Alex. So thank you, Norwegian Joy, for the promenade as we made two great discoveries here, my drink and our new friend Alex. Be sure to check out his YouTube channel. Now, with the More at Sea, we got to experience some of the specialty dining. There are a lot of great restaurants to choose from, and therefore I think that this is one of the highlights of the cruise. So we experienced the Teppanyaki Japanese place and Food Republic, and to me, both of these places were very accommodating as a plant-based eater, where I got to make substitutions of tofu. The experiences were very fun, welcoming, pretty delicious restaurants. I do also want to mention that there were not many choices on the menus in general in the buffet for vegans, but when you speak to the right people, you will find that they're extremely accommodating and they do their best to help you make you something that you can eat. My last is a bonus tip for those of you who stick it out to the end of this video. Disembarkation day, they close everything up so fast so that you could be waiting in the observation lounge, for example, to disembark. But there is no water, no coffee, no glasses, no cups, no anything for you while you wait. My suggestion to you would be to fill up your water bottle the night before, or fill up your thermos with coffee just before everything closes so that you have something while you're waiting, because it can take a long time before they call your group number to disembark the ship. So there you have it. Actually, 11 things that we felt you need to know before you go on the Norwegian Joy. I hope that in watching this video, we can make your cruise on the Norwegian Joy even more enjoyable. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.